I read it so many times, I'm reading it backwards now.
I think this is a good note for everybody out there.
He says that I don't pull well on TikTok, so
He doesn't.
It's
It's a fact. It just doesn't pull well. It's called social media for a reason, and it's not selfish media.
I just gotta clear something up. You weren't the 12th man on the field.
Right?
There is no easy way to get anything ever. Oh.
This is Mornings with Matt, the Deering Acting Studio podcast, where we discuss the connection between life and acting.
Alrighty, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Mornings with Matt show, Deering Acting Studio podcast. We do connect life and acting. I'm going to start off because I always forget to do this in the beginning. Please subscribe. Because if you don't make it to the end of the show, then you don't get my message about subscription.
Subscribe. Yeah.
we need the subscribers.
For real.
So just, hit the button, click the bell, all the things the guys say. Just do that thing.
Yeah, that would be great.
Joey, today we've got a big show. It's a great show.
Yeah, we do.
It's an awesome show.
The comment section is a little quiet today. It's weird.
Well, it's annoying.
Usually we have a couple in there.
Dude, we have so many people out there. They're just waking up right now. They're waiting to hear what they should comment on.
Ah, that makes sense.
All right, I'm going to tell you right now. Here's what I want you to comment on. This morning, right away, I want you to start throwing in the comments ways that you've been transformed this year. So this has been a big year, 2020, and we've all been transformed in some way, shape, or form. And today specifically, we're going to be talking about transforming yourself and transformation. And specifically, we're sitting down with, we're not supposed to have favorites, but one of our favorite students is here to talk about her transformation since she's been here. And I'm very excited for that. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Miss Astrid Gabriel.
Good morning, everyone. This is quite an honor. I'm so psyched to be here. My dreams are coming true before my eyes. I have hoped for this moment for a long time, and I am here. So this is amazing. Thank you so much for having me on this morning.
Absolutely, Astrid. So I want to get to know you a little bit better today. I think that'd be a great way to start. So you sort of unveiled a few things, I'd say, during the sketch comedy class about your upbringing and different things. So tell us a little bit about you, like where you come from and the point of view, and let's try to let's go deep. Let's get to the childhood and the pain.
Oh boy, here we go. This is different. I don't usually talk about it.
Talk about what hurts, Ashley. Please talk about the things that hurt.
All right,
those things. You know those things you buried for like a really long time. Yeah, that's
time to bring them out.
Now's a great time.
Yeah,
to talk
this
about
is
it.
it, bright and early.
Yeah.
So I am originally from Dominican Republic. That's
Okay.
where I was born. I lived there till I was 6 years old, and I'm 31.
Do you have any memories of the Dominican Republic as a 6-year-old?
Definitely.
What stands out? Because I know, like, my daughter's 6 right now, and I wonder which things are going to stick. And if I look back on my life, it's hard to gauge memories when I'm a child, because I'm like, well, was I 6? Was that a real memory? Did my parents just tell me about that? Like what's real? But the fact that you moved countries, there's a definite time stamp there, right? Like before Dominican Republic and after Dominican Republic.
Exactly.
So tell me what you remember.
So about Dominican Republic specifically, I probably remember the most the people I encountered, as well as the streets. I remember a lot different types of vehicles, different than here. Like we're talking, they just makeshift vehicles over there. Like any material they find, they make into a vehicle. So that's something that stands out to me, and it didn't stand out till I moved to America, noticing that difference. And the people are so different. Like in Dominican Republic, everybody's always on their porch. You always have drinks and candy and food in your hand. You're saying hi to everybody who walks by. It's very just like a party all the time. You know?
Really?
Oh yeah. You're hoping that somebody who's walking on the street stops by and kind of joins in on your party, and you get to know each other.
No way.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. So are people in Dominican Republic, are they all fit, such as yourself?
No, I wouldn't say so. No.
Well, I was curious because there's the drinking and the candy, so I
Yeah.
just didn't know how that was gonna be.
Yeah, no. Nope, they're not.
Okay, so you come from the party house of Dominican Republic, and what brings your parents here? What was the idea?
So when I was born, my mom was only 20 and she was a single parent. So for her, it was very much, she wants her only daughter to have a better upbringing. So that was the main goal behind it, is just a better life for her daughter. So we attempted to both come together to America, but I had initially been denied because she just has to prove that she can actually support me in
So this is
America.
just your mom and you came over here?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. So what ended up happening is, because I couldn't come over because she had never lived here before, I had to go back, and she came to America first.
What?
So yeah, so I lived with my great grandma for 4 years.
No way.
Yeah, before my mom could come back and actually bring me.
From 2 until 6?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I was 4 years old when my sister was born, and my mom was visiting me when my sister was in her belly.
No
so
way.
that's how I remember. So
how many
that's how I
how many
remember.
times did she visit you after she left?
That I can remember, like 3 or 4.
Okay. Were you able to communicate? Because I know, like technology has changed so much. Like, was she able to call and like be in touch constantly?
Yeah, so back in my day, it was like calling cards. So she would have to fill up a calling card in order to call me, and then that's how it was done. So we knew in advance when she was going to try to reach out, and we were expecting the call. We'd actually be waiting right next to the phone, waiting for her to call us from America.
I feel like I need to get your mom on this show.
She would love that.
Coming to America. I want to have that show.
Dang.
Please. Can we set that up, Joey?
I mean, yeah, that sounds like a pretty.
All right, wake Brian up.
Pretty,
he's in the hospital. He
interesting
needs to make
topic.
some phone calls. All right, so your mom's journey then is a part of your journey, big time here.
100%.
So your mom comes over here. She's loaded, obviously, super rich.
So rich.
So that was tough for her.
Definitely.
My good, think about the sacrifice,
Mm-hmm.
unbelievable sacrifice. That's crazy, and faith to be able to let go of even your daughter in
I
order
know.
to prove help her with a greater life. That's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
So what happens here? She obviously got pregnant. So maybe she met somebody.
Exactly. So then she met my dad, who I call dad because he raised me. She met him, and they had my sister. 10 years later, they had my brother.
How long did it take her before she met your dad?
I would say 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Within 2 years of being here, she met him. So she ended up working her way up to being a manager at McDonald's. So that's also a pretty cool story, you know, for us not being from here. And they met there. He was always a customer, pretending he just needs McDonald's all the time. And that's
Dude,
how
I'm
they
gonna
met.
cry this morning based on your story. This is such a cute story.
Thank you.
Okay.
He's like, take me into your story. Show me all these things, and then he's the one crying.
This is literally the movie Coming to America. Have you seen this movie?
Yeah, it's so funny. I say this movie is about my life. Anytime somebody says, name a movie that represents your
Yeah.
life, I'm 100% Coming to America.
Okay, so now tell me about your dad at the time that he met your mom, because he's obviously a successful dude now based on your stand up. So was he already that way? Was he already successful when your mom met him?
Yeah, so his father, my grandfather, worked for UPS, and UPS was a really good job to have, starting out in this country. And from that, my dad ended up when he had the choice of graduating high school, it was, do I go to work or do I go to college? So he decided to, I believe he just went to like a prep type of college, maybe like 2 years, and then was able to become an accountant. So that's where he started. He became an accountant. I believe he was like 18 years old. So he was super young. And that's pretty much what set him a little bit above everybody else. And that's where the money kind of comes from, because he chose that field.
Kids, here's the thing, kids. Accounting is a great field to know about. Whether or not you get into accounting or not, you should really know your finances. I can tell you that's one of the things, like later in life, you're like, man, I wish I would have studied that more.
So true.
So your mom, wow, she comes over here. She works her way up through McDonald's. She meets the prince. They must have been just like, I mean, then she gets married and they're still together?
No, they're not together.
They're not. How long were they together?
They were together for 10 years, married for 7.
Oh, beautiful story. Okay, so
And they're still good friends.
So they brought you over here. What was that like? What was it like saying goodbye to grandma?
So, oh man, this is where it's going to get emotional. That I remember so vividly. So I remember finding out. So it's funny because my dad would come visit me also sometimes with my mom.
Sure.
So at the time, it's funny to see videos, like home videos of me reacting to him. I would only spoke Spanish at the time. So I'm sitting there, like staring at this guy and asking my mom all these questions in Spanish, like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
But then eventually, the more he comes to visit, this becomes my dad. So it's funny seeing those videos.
But you probably got closer to your grandma than your mom for a minute.
Definitely.
Because of the age, right?
Definitely.
Because, I mean, a little bit, were you staring at your mom too?
Yes.
Like, you're my mom, you say you're my mom, she says you're my mom.
Exactly.
But at the same time,
Right.
I've known this woman as my mom, right?
It's true. Yeah. There were times where I was calling my great grandma mom or my great aunt mom because they were there all the time for me. So yes, definitely there were times like that. And when I was leaving, I was devastated. I will never forget the drive to the airport, crying. I was devastated. I did not want to leave.
Wow.
And it's funny because I remember feeling like this is permanent. I knew I was never gonna go back to Dominican Republic.
Wow.
And it was just like a feeling that came over me. So
it was like, it was a door shut, say goodbye. Now, do you want to go back now?
yeah, we still have like a house there. So we still like rent out the house and everything. Yeah. So if it stays in the family, that would be like a dream that I could eventually move back there.
Oh, you want to move back?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So if you move back to Dominican Republic, what would you do?
That's a great question. I picture myself opening something up for people there, whether it's like a hotel or a resort or something, or a home to help people out. That's what I envision bringing over there. Things that
Can
are
we can we carve out a little space and have a Daring Acting Studio, Dominican Republic?
Yeah. It's so funny. My sister, who still lives there, and
Yeah.
I've never met her before, she was reaching out to me because she sees all my videos and all that good stuff. And she's like, are you acting? Do you know that our cousin is a known actress in Dominican Republic? It runs in the family. I'm like, you're so cute.
That's amazing. Okay. All right. So now you're in the U.S. You're 6.
Yep.
Big town. Now what? You're in New York already?
I am. I'm living in the Bronx at this time. So I lived in
Okay.
the Bronx for a year. And that was pretty much all I remember is desperately trying to learn English. Like,
Right.
I wanted to learn English so badly. I wanted to make friends, all my peers. I was like in public school. So I was amongst people who only spoke English. They
So
didn't
you
know
would go to
Spanish.
school, you don't know the language, then you would come home and study the language?
Yep. Yeah.
Like-
So I learned English in a month.
What? All right. That's a whole nother episode. Joey, we've got like 3 episodes out of 1 here. Can I just talk about that for 1
Yeah,
second? And I want you to remind yourself of this, and we should all remind ourselves of this. There's a book. Dang it, what is the name of that book? It's about hyper learning. I don't remember the exact name of the book, but basically this guy learns things like languages. Like he'll learn an entire language in 6 months. You learned it in 1 month, right? So why and how did you do it? Okay. Number 1, you immersed yourself in the culture. So you were immersed. And number 2, you were highly motivated, right? So you're like, I'm going to school. I'm listening to all these things. I'm going to go home. And then because my life depends on it, I'm going to learn English. You learn English in a month.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You understand how incredible that is? And to translate that to anything, you want to learn something, you want to do something. If you're Astrid, just give her a month. That's all you need. That's great. That's so cool. Okay, so you learn English now. Then when do you start excelling in school?
So I would say the year later. In second grade, I would start getting 104 plus on spelling exams, spelling tests. We had math.
Probably because of your love of language.
Exactly. Oh
Interesting.
yeah. And I ended up majoring in English also. So I kept going to school for
Yeah.
English. So that's why nobody knows that my first language is Spanish,
Yeah.
because I speak really proper English.
Really proper English.
Really proper.
Can you do an English accent? Perhaps. That's something you should work on.
I struggle,
Well,
but
you
I
should-
do try.
Yes, you should really work on that.
It's not even that bad
No, it's
for,
not that
for not doing it.
Because you've got a great look for the English accent,
Do
actually.
I?
Yes, you
Oh,
sure do.
thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, lad.
absolutely. And you can sit up when you speak like that, and then it's you're very proper. And yes, and drink drink your tea. All right, very good. Talio.
Tell
I don't even think they drink it fully. It's just like a touch to the lips.
It's like the warmth. It's not nothing else. I was gonna say this. I was adjusting the cameras, but you referred back a couple of times, like, yeah, that's so cool. But I was just gonna say, like, yeah, there's so many topics. It was funny when I called her last night. I wasn't like, yeah, like we want you to be a guest again. I was like, well, you're coming in to help. If you want to come in super early, we would love to have you as like a co-host. Like.
She's like, I'm there.
Yeah, she was like, she was like, my dreams are coming true. And Ben was like, you have a lot of dreams. Which one? In the background, it was hilarious.
Well, I gotta say, she looks good, sounds good on the mic. I'd like to hear some comments out there, some
Thank
peeps out
you.
there. All the love we got for Astrid here. So, all right. So you're falling in love with English, falling in love with the U.S. Now, take me to how you get into bougie high school.
So I think
Because I
after-
went to a bougie high school too, by the way.
Okay, cool.
My dad's a doctor. He's a family practice doctor. So that's like the poorest of the doctors, which that's an oxymoron.
Right.
But where I went to school, it was Brophy here, so it's a private school. All the kids drove like brand new Hummer, and like like the top of the top everything. And I didn't do. I had like a used Corolla that my sister used to drive. That was broken down, that I had to pay for and had to work for. And I appreciate my parents for that now. Back then, I was like,
Come on.
So you're at the bougie high school. Was it similar to mine? Was it similar to that type of like prep school type?
Exactly. Very similar. It's exactly like that. It's very like, I don't know if you watch any like shows or hear about the shows or movies where they set their high school like that. The kids they all have money. They come from-
90210?
Exactly. Nailed it. That's
Nailed
exactly like that. Nailed it. That's exactly how it is. Even like the
Clueless?
parents have drama with each other. Exactly. Yeah, that's how it is. It's like this Real Housewives type of lifestyle that they
Yeah.
all live.
What, did your mom become a real housewife?
Oh my gosh. No,
That'd be so funny.
it would be.
If she come to America, go work their way through McDonald's, and then she's like,
She can be bougie, don't get me wrong. But yeah.
But she earned it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
She earned
She
the
earned
right
the
to be
bougie.
bougie. Yeah.
She like picks and chooses.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it's very similar. It's exactly like that. But I grew up the exact same way as you. My parents wanted to show us, you have to work and earn this type of living. You are well off right now because of what we do, but that's key. It's because of the work that we do, and the lessons that we teach you guys. So it was the same exact thing, but it's funny being aware of all that going on around you, because then you have friends who are not at all like that, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh my goodness, how do you can't even explain anything to them because they don't get it.
So does your mom still live in New York?
She actually just moved to North Carolina like 2 weeks ago.
From New York, though.
Yep.
So she was been there. So what brought you here then? What brought you to the great state of Arizona?
So
I love this story.
so after college, I knew I did not want to live in New York anymore. I was just done. It was
How
too
did you
cold.
know? Because I love that story, but how did you know on the inside? Because that's the spirit. That's the spirit of God inside of us, that tells us, hey, something's right or wrong or whatever, right? Because I went to New York too, by the way. I lived there for a while.
Oh, God.
And I knew the second I got there that it wasn't permanent. Mm-hmm. That, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You felt the permanence.
Yeah.
I knew for sure it wasn't permanent. I needed to learn what I needed to learn, but I could not wait to get out of there.
Yep, I'm honestly the same exact way. It's like I was accepting it for so long because I didn't really have a choice, and I'm grateful for all it's taught me. But I just knew during college, there's no future here for me. I literally couldn't envision it. I just couldn't picture myself in a home there. I couldn't picture a family there. It's just nothing that I could picture. Now, I couldn't picture myself anywhere. I didn't know where it was going to be, but I just did not picture myself in New York whatsoever. So the more it just weighed on me, it was literally a thought all the time. It was as if things were getting worse for me if I didn't move out of New York.
That's how God works.
Yeah.
That's how
It's
God works, for real.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was so crazy. And then one day, Ben and I were just sitting in the
Wait,
house.
you're already with Ben?
Yeah, so we met in college.
All right, that's what I wanted to get to the Ben story.
Okay, so yeah, we
So
met in
we
college.
gotta take it back to college, and then really quick before you get to college, Ben said Varsity Blues.
Oh, he's comparing my life.
Oh, the high school,
okay.
the bougie high school.
All right. He commented that, and I was like, she probably knows. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
No. That's
Who
what he
who was
said.
Ben in Varsity Blues?
Ooh,
was he
that's
like
a
was he
good
like the
question.
pouty blonde guy?
Ooh, I think so, Benji.
like the what is his name? The lead in that?
Oh, I don't know the name.
I don't remember his name.
Yo,
either,
I do not know why Matt just made eye contact with me for that because I made it very clear I have no clue what that is.
Oh, I thought you didn't know. I thought you didn't understand the comment. How do you not know about Varsity Blues, bro?
Bro,
It's a high school show. Football's involved. Like
I mean,
I figured
now
you'd have figured that
you
one
say
out.
the word football, and
Well,
I'm
I
like,
know.
all right, cool.
Yeah,
That's on my watch list.
Exactly. So that's why I looked at you.
Yeah, that's funny.
Then you're gonna understand all these references.
So really quick one-liner. Did you ever develop a New York accent? Is the question.
Everybody says that I have a New York accent. Some
Nope.
people no, yeah. Some people say it's not thick.
Nope.
But
Yeah.
I don't think so.
There's
Interesting.
something under there. It's Bronx is what it is. It's not even specifically New York.
Yeah.
There's you and it's only certain words. My wife has Long Island. Mm-hmm. And you'd never know except for certain
Some
words,
words,
you know? And she can just drop right back into it like that. Like she used to say back when there was still a store Toys R Us. Toys R Us.
I know exactly. Like the us is just so like
Yeah. And she would just like mispronounce certain words and I'm like, no, like that's not the word. And she's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm like, babe, it's talk.
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
like, oh yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
He'd be like, Leanne, acting is my day job. Like I need to coach you on this right here.
Right. And
You
that's a whole
Yeah.
nother episode. Okay, so did you go to a bougie college too?
No, I just went to a state university.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Me
wasn't
too, by the
bougie.
way.
Yeah.
Go ASU. All right. So you meet how'd you meet Ben? Party?
So we actually
Library?
I ended up no,
Depends on who's listening.
No, it's a funnier story. I actually decided to take classes over the summertime. And we ended up having a mutual friend. So me and this mutual friend were the only two up at school still for the summer courses. They kind of like did sessions. So he and I were the only ones there for the first session. So Ben actually was his best friend. So right before the next session began.
It's always the best friend.
It always is, right?
It's
always is.
He's just hanging around a little too often, and he's like the customer at McDonald's.
Yeah, that's basically it.
I just like looking for another latte. I don't know. All right,
It's so true because after we met, we still didn't date for
Right.
a long time.
because he had to like well up the guts.
Yeah, I was about to say, but that Ben probably had that on his radar.
No, I mean he
Yeah.
knew, he felt it,
Yeah.
and then he's like, oh man, can I ask her out? She's
I know it took a super long time. Just wait for it. It
All
gets
right.
even better. So then, So one day he tells us that his best friend is coming to visit, and he does. So Ben comes in. I think nothing of it. I don't know if he thinks anything of it. And we're just hanging out. We're all just friends. This regular semester starts in the fall, and we kind of become closer. Now we're just a friend group that always hangs out. Any chance that we get after any class, we're just always hanging out. And he was in a frat at the time, so it was easy to go to fraternity house and just hang out all the time, watch football, just hang out. And then it wasn't till after he graduated. So we're friends maybe like a year and a half. He graduates. When he comes back, it's because his fraternity has a Christmas party. So he invites me to it just randomly. And I'm telling you, we haven't even talked. After he graduated, we didn't really talk. It was just like whatever. Like we were just friends in school. So I have a boyfriend at the time. And I end up
Ben!
Oh, man.
You have no idea how similar the story is to mine. Leanne had a boyfriend when I met her.
so funny.
And I was like, not anymore.
Oh, man.
It's funny.
You guys
like,
are
asking
ruthless.
questions. I
You
know.
guys are
it's
ruthless.
Hey, you know the girl you want. You got to go get her.
Yeah.
That's another episode. We'll teach you about that one, Joy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after that Christmas party, that was it. We started talking a little bit more. I moved in with him 2 weeks later, and that was it.
You just knew.
Yep, just knew.
That's
Yep.
awesome. What a cool story.
It was crazy.
Ben, way to go, buddy.
Good job, Ben.
Congratulations. Killing it on the lady front. Okay, so now we're at you and Ben are together because I didn't want to skip that.
He said he wasn't right for her. I had to throw that in there. It just popped in, and
That's
they're
hilarious.
behind. But I was
love
like,
Okay, so now how do you come to Arizona?
So we're sitting in our living room one day, and the news is on, and the weather specifically, it's on that segment, and we see that it is 28 degrees in New York and the exact opposite in Phoenix. It was 82 degrees. And we
Nice.
said, that's it. That's where we're going.
No way.
No joke. And within, I think it was 2 weeks from that, we were moving to Arizona.
And do you love it here?
I love it here.
I love it here too.
Yeah.
I hate the heat though. Are you fine with the heat? Like you're
I'm
like,
fine
no big deal?
with it. Yeah,
Okay.
because this area reminds me so much of where I'm from in Dominican Republic.
Okay.
So that's it. You know,
So how long have you been now in Arizona for?
It's gonna be 5 years in February.
Okay. And then you found us what, like a year ago?
Well, I technically found you guys a really long time ago.
Oh, really?
But yeah,
she
but I
stalked
didn't
us for a little
actually-
while.
Okay. So tell me about that.
So when I first moved out here, we moved, no job, nothing. We just knew we were coming out here. So I was kind of looking for something to do. You know, I don't know where I want to work. I know nothing around here. I don't know anybody. So actually our mutual friend that introduced us is also, he was living out here. So
Okay.
he's the reason it was easier for us to come out here.
Sure.
So before he was able to help us out getting a job, I was just researching different things to do. I just want to fill up my time. I don't want to get bored. I don't like doing nothing. So I was like, let me go into acting. You know, it's something I've always thought about. Let's see. But like, it freaked me out. Like I was so scared, you know, like an adult doing something they've never done before
Right.
is the scariest thing ever.
It is.
It really
That's why, and it's so important for us to remember the bravery you had as a 6-year-old. And that's still in you, right? And you bring that into acting, and you're going to bring that into different jobs, and you bring it into like whatever gigs you get. But that sort of courage, I believe it's inside all of us. You know, I watch my 1.5-year-old right now, and he's fearless. You know, and we have to teach him certain fears that he needs to have, but at a certain point, we forget that we're capable of learning a language in a month if we really had to. You know. Okay, sorry. So you wanted to fill your time. Acting was
And-
scary.
Exactly. And sure enough, right when I was going to sign up, I ended up getting a job. So I was like, okay, let me just focus on this.
Was that pretty much
job.
when you got here?
It was
Like
maybe within the year. I think it wasn't till maybe 8 months later that I was living here that I got a
Okay.
job.
Okay.
So it was quite some time. And then fast forward to 3 years later, once the quarantine hit, that's when I decided, okay, this is it.
So it was quarantine that actually brought you here. No way. That's crazy.
right.
And
Thank you, coronavirus.
Yeah, yeah, for
I
real.
think
There are some good things that have happened
Yep.
from the coronavirus, and
Yep.
Astrid is one of those things.
That's exactly what happened.
She
yeah.
was a part of your quote, the best first week of improv.
Yeah, and it still
ever
stands. That
in the
that
Daring
week still
Acting
stands.
Studio.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That might be part of it. You
yeah.
know, you
Well,
never know.
guarantee is part of it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, so so now so you did you find us in that beginning 8 months, and then you like specifically our studio, like.
Yes, I was watching your videos. Like even before the quarantine, I was watching all of your videos. I would watch your online ones, like after you guys went virtual. I was watching those. And I thought it was so cool that I was able, like, it just felt like a sign. I'm just like, this is so weird that I'm able to watch all this, and it's like drawing me in. It's like basically saying, like, you have to do this. Like, now this is it.
I'm curious, and here's why I'm so curious is because we put a lot out there, and there's so many times where we would never know that somebody was soaking in the content for 3 years. And I don't really care, honestly, like about money. It's just not my thing. Like I like it. Obviously, my wife loves it, but I'm teasing, baby. I'm teasing. I'm playing. Okay, no, but for real. So, but to know that you're making an impact, but you don't get to know all the time. You know, you don't know that hidden person that's watching and loving it and connected to it. And so just to know that that it was drawing you in too, because that's the idea behind Lighthouse around here, is we want to be a beacon of light, drawing in, all kinds of ships, broken, ships that are put together, all kinds, but you got to want to be here. Like you got to have that, I don't know what to say, that immigrant mindset that just wants to like grind and work on themselves and, and hit the pavement, because it's not going to be easy. I never promised this place will be easy, but it'll be fun. And you'll be learning some stuff, and you're going to grow. Like, that's always my promise that I make. So 3 years you're watching videos. That's so cool. And then coronavirus hits, quarantine, and you showed up because you were in person, or did you start virtually?
So I was going to start virtually. So I'm sitting there literally for an entire month. I'm like, what do I do? Do I wait and see if they're going to go in person soon, or should I just sign up virtually and do it? And I held off. I was like, you know what? Let me just watch May. Let me see virtually what happens in May, and then June. If they go in person in June, that's it. That's my sign. I'm signing up. And that's exactly how it happened.
And that was a big decision for us.
Really? That is so funny.
We sat around, we had to make the choice because, you're being told all this information from different places. You don't know what to believe.
Yeah.
My dad's even a doctor, so I had some inside scoop on things. And that was still when it was early. And businesses were making different decisions. Like some people would do one thing, some people do another thing. And that was a big move for us. We even had a camp. We had a 20 person kids and teens camp, and it was awesome. It was a huge, wild success. We had I don't have it right here, but one of Joey and Brian's mom's friend made us masks before masks were a thing.
Oh, I have mine up there. I'll go grab it.
Yeah. So she they were a thing sort of, but but you couldn't just go to the store and buy a mask. They didn't have them available.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a thing where they had mass produced this thing yet, right? So so she's from Wickenburg, and she did these by hand. Look at how cool these things are. She made them for us, for all the kids.
Wow.
All and the drawstring is there and all that. But like we were like, okay, we don't want to be fearful. We don't want to like create fear, but we want to be safe. And so that we innovated. We did what we had to do.
That's crazy. Yeah, we were thinking the same things at the same time, and then our lives merged.
All right, so we're getting close to the end here. So I'm gonna make you fast. I'm gonna make you like do this next part quickly. So from the time you got here, then, so it's been now June, July, August, September, October, November. So 6 months. Okay. What's the transformation been like for you mentally since coming here? Have there been things here that have changed the way you operate outside of here?
Yeah, so the number one thing that stands out, so being somebody who kind of just like is a wanderer, travels to different countries, different states, that's like my role. I know that already, is to meet people along the way and develop relationships like that and impact each other's lives in that way. So now, after coming to school here, I've realized that now I can actually take each one of those relationships and situations and like take it one step further. Like I'm so aware now of what I'm saying to people, reading them, how to react in certain situations, and just being able to understand my feelings. Like I can feel when something is changing or how I'm feeling about what somebody has said or done. And it's like, I'm like, oh my gosh, now I can actually figure out what to actually respond and say instead of just responding and saying it.
Yeah.
You know, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense. As a matter of fact, that is, in essence, a huge part of the next book that I'm going to release, The Best Listener in the Room, and that's what it's all about. Because I believe it's a superpower, and you're just tapping into this new superpower. And the more you learn about it, and the more you do it, I mean, it obviously works for acting, but it works for everything. It's so crazy when you learn to listen at that level.
It's that idea of not reacting right away. It's like listen past what the words are, you know. So then you become less reactive, so less conflict happens, and when it does, it's very intentional, purposeful, like drawing a line in the sand.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Cool. All right. Well, small transformations, big transformations happening around here.
Yeah.
Title of the episode, Transform Yourself. So you got to transform yourself. You're watching right now. Make the choice, okay? Things can be scary. There's so many stories out there of, you know, different people's pain and you know, the ups and downs of life, and we've all got that. And if we look at Astrid, you had it hard and you probably had it easy at different times for different reasons, and you overcame. And so if we can all just take an example from this story and go, you think you can't do it? Okay, cool. Try being a little girl who gets separated from her mom at the age of 2, and then brought over here. You don't speak the language, and then go to school. Good luck. Really. And what are you going to do with it? And certain people are going to fight, and they're going to transform, and they're going to make something of that, and they're going to see it as the opportunity and the wonderful, amazing country that we do live in here, our sense of freedom and everything that we have here, and you're going to use all the opportunities and work hard. And some people just aren't, you know. And I know if you're watching the show that you're one of those people that are going to do it. You're going to transform. So in which ways, I think we should all be thinking about this now. In which ways do you want to transform yourself moving into 2021? Because it's not about coronavirus. It's not about the government. It's not about who becomes president. It's not about any of that stuff. It's about you. What are you going to do? And it starts now. The transformation starts now. Don't wait till January 1 to set your goals. Be already in the process so that when you do set your New Year goals, you've already got momentum. You're already kind of working your way towards something.
Now, I wish these weren't on stands because that was definitely a mic drop moment. that little speech you had.
Oh,
there.
Joey, thank you, man. Well, I was inspired. I mean, geez, look at this.
Yeah.
Thank you guys again for having me on.
Oh my
So
God. Well, you're good on the mic. We're gonna have to have her back on.
Thank you.
No, 100%.
Just to do an episode.
Also, it's really nice to have feminine energy. On
It
the
is.
show. I'm sure.
And
it's
we
nice
miss it
for
since
the
Brian's been
viewers.
gone.
Love you, Brian.
Oh my god.
He doesn't watch. Don't worry about it.
That's so
He's
good.
like, no, I didn't watch it. All right.
I do. I'm just gonna throw this out there for you. I do have the video that brought her in before June pulled up. That I can play at the end as the outro if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it right
Cool.
now.
Sounds good.
Let's do it right now.
Boom.
Do you? Oh yeah. There we go. Oh, it's commercial.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip that commercial right away.
Oh yeah. This
Here
is the
we
one.
go. Yep.
Did you see this?
This is the
No
one.
way.
Yeah, she was one of the.
Oh my gosh.
Like the second she knew that, I was like, "Oh, this is the one."
What a beautiful.
And it's
thing.
such a cool story. So, can you turn up that USB channel now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, here we go. I will play this video for our audience. I gotta add the computer.
While Joey's doing that, I just want to tell everyone out there, please do not forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. Help us spread this light-driven content to the planet.
Way to fit it in. We needed that.
I should, fill some dead space.
All right, here we go. Is it up?
I do have it up. Not sure.
Oh, it's not up on my computer.
There we go.
So we've got some big news today, boys. Big news. You're not gonna believe it.
Will you be joining me outside in a few minutes?
So there are things that are definitely working.
You got a jar or something?
4 different guys? Gordon Zaharis? Who the hell is Gordon Zaharis?
And you will not like it. That's what I'll do. You're playing with fire.
And
We're going to be opening in person June 1st, Deering Acting Studio, opening the doors, mic drop.
You don't know how you are living.
Yeah, Hollywood.
It's the number one format.
Oh man,
Yo, that edit still holds water right now.
it really does.
a
And
good
and the
edit.
thing about it is like we're at the tail end, so I'm just speeding through. But that was one video, and probably like the only one so far where it's been like this passionate. But I made that video on Instagram, like for Instagram. And Matt came over and he was like, "Oh, I want to see what you're doing."
Oh yeah, he made a 1
it
minute
was-
version of that
Yeah.
for Instagram.
It was like my brainchild. Like I
Yeah.
had this idea, like, oh, let's throw it in, like do a countdown, because we had done that when we were still doing the podcasts on Fridays instead of every day on the morning show.
Guess what I said to him? I go, we can't post that.
Yeah, and I
he's
was like,
what?
I was like, that's my show. Like, I thought it was a great idea. And then
And
he was like, "Oh, you do it."
Yeah,
You
I was
do it,
like,
you
I was
do
like,
it."
Joey, it's too good. It's too good. We have to we have to expand it. This needs to be a 2.5 minute video. We didn't really do any YouTube advertising
Oh, what? That hypes
at
you
all.
up.
At all, we didn't do any. But I'm like, this is worthy of that. You know, like I'm not just gonna advertise for no reason. I'm gonna I gotta do something that's gonna bring the people in. You know, obviously.
Facts.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I saw that video and I was like, we're gonna invest in this video. So not only is it good, but unfortunately it's too good. You don't get to release this. And then it took us about like 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, a week.
A week.
And it was like every day, probably like 6 to 8 hours at the computer, because I got every student in there that had been virtual and like made the transform with us, because we understood it was tough in the moment to like stick with your training. And then same thing with like the in-person people. So it was like I went through our archive drives and just found like person, made sure we didn't miss anything.
This is crazy, Astrid. We lost half the student data, half of our student base. Like that.
Wow.
Because people were like afraid.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to go virtual, and like it was just like a weird moment. But we literally gained momentum because of our choices.
Yeah.
we lost half our income. We lost every corporate client. We lost every casting client that we had lined up. They like gone. And we gained momentum. That's what's crazy. We ended up selling out both those Valleywoods, like oversold them out. Like they were amazing. And now we're gearing up to the end of this year, and I'm feeling the momentum here right now. I don't know if you are, but like there's so much crazy momentum here at the studio that we're gonna have to open up another day in person. I can already feel it.
Wow, that's awesome.
And we got a brand new membership program that I can't even talk to you about yet. But it's really good.
Yes.
So, all right, Joey, that was awesome, dude. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Appreciate you making time for it.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Thank you so much. And we've already said this. So, you know what? Why don't you do the outro, Astrid? You know the Astrid.
Yeah.
I don't know the
Oh, heck
You don't
yeah.
know it?
No.
It's all the things you do.
It is way out of date. It's literally me like reading a script like that one I never updated.
Oh, no. I'm talking about my outro.
Oh.
The
Got you.
like, subscribe, comment, share, light-driven content, planet, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but can you pretend like you have notes?
Okay.
Just, for... There we go. Now the show's better.
Okay, I'd like to just say if you could just like, subscribe, and share this content. Please like, subscribe, share this content. We love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Keep tuning in every single day. We need you. We love you. Have a daring day.
Woo! Boom! Thanks for listening to Mornings with Matt. Please like, subscribe, and follow us at Deering Acting Studio to keep up with the latest content. For more information on classes, private lessons, or professional development coaching, visit www.deeringstudio.com. Have a Deering day, everyone.